services. We offer contract negotiation and cross-cultural consulting, and this really means that instead of just translating documents, while we do that, and we do that very well, especially in Russia where you're having to talk to the government in most of your business dealings, we will go to you with the Russian government and make sure that while you're negotiating contracts, any cultural signs that come out, so any body language, any connotation, any tone of voice that you wouldn't normally get in just interpretation, we help businesses identify those, and this will become a main asset for us when targeting oil companies.
Hi, my name is Philip Holm, and I'm going to talk to you guys quickly about, I'm going to be very brief, about the market entry strategy. Given that the oil and gas industry is both mature and saturated, in Russia, establishing an office could be both risky and costly. Therefore, given the company's capabilities and the nature of the service provided, we would like to utilize a virtual entry strategy, going with portal entry and direct exporting. The portal entry should reduce the inherent risk with entering the market, with establishing a physical presence, which is unnecessary given the nature of the service provided, and given the company's capabilities with only a staff of 10, we don't want to stretch the company too far. Entering into the Russian market, it is very important to undergo contact building, and to do this, we would like to utilize organizations like the U.S. Commercial Service Office and the U.S. Embassy in Russia, which help find international business partners as well as offer trade and event listings. As Seth had also said prior, we would like to implement freelance translators and leverage their local knowledge and their contracts while they gain credibility by being associated with an international firm. RussTech's success will rely on their ability to differentiate themselves from competitors and leverage their unique service offerings. Of these service offerings, it is best to leverage contract negotiations, interpretation, cross-cultural advantaging, which are the top three there. Also, we will leverage our customer service and quality assurance because we will redo and fix any projects to the client's satisfaction with no increase in price. Issues, as the prior Russian team mentioned, are the Russian government and corruption, with an ingrained form of corruption known as blat, which is basically an influence of contacts to obtain favors. And other issues include our company's size and limiting our mobility in the industry.
Hi guys, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the marketing mix. In terms of our brand strategy, we're going to keep it basically to our core competencies. We really want to stress those. Basically, high quality work. The fact that we go through a strenuous process of quality control. We have in-depth industry knowledge for this specific industry, and also that we offer quality translation, both through precision, accuracy, and speed. In terms of the product we're offering, I feel like it's been covered a lot by my previous group members. Basically, document translation, interpretation. Those are going to be the ones that we really want to focus on initially as we come into this industry. We also want to stress for this that we have a product assurance guarantee, and again, that translators are going into only their native language. Let's see. Next slide. In terms of pricing's kind of, we adapt it contract to contract. It wouldn't make sense to overly standardize the contract process. That being said, though, we do want to aim slightly above the market price. Doing that sort of will show the quality work that we do. RussTech, on average, it's about 24 cents per word. That's a little bit higher than the U.S. industry average. This price is very competitive in the U.S. It's also competitive on a global level, which makes us competitive globally and locally. Hold on, let's see. Influences, basically other factors that can influence the price of this. Time constraint, difficulty of the content. There's a lot of different factors that vary into this. On the right here, we just sort of have a quick little diagram that goes through the process that a document would go through when it's being translated. This process isn't actually going to be influenced very heavily through Russia's poor infrastructure, which is a very good thing. The only real costs we're looking at are higher communication costs and the fact that when you make phone calls you have to take international prices. And there's also less reliable postal services in Russia. Russia is notorious for having a poor postal system. And so mailing documents can be influenced like that. The only other real difference in terms of our distribution is that time zones. Russia is 8 to 12 hours away in time zones. And that can have a very large impact on how we do business. But it also can be an advantage because RussTech could be working while the Russian counterparts are asleep. For advertising, we tend to want to focus on a business-to-business model, which means not a lot of TV commercials or radio ads. In fact, we don't even think RussTech should invest at all in that. In terms of advertising, the only advertising RussTech should go through with is basically sponsoring trade shows and putting up advertisements in trade shows. Trade shows examples, you see them up there. The targets of our advertising are the decision makers inside of organizations. You don't really need to focus on the general public because the general public isn't necessarily going to be using these services. So we want to basically keep our sort of conventional advertising small scale. For other promotions, we tend to want to focus on building contacts and relationships with members of the business community. So, you want to go, that's why these trade shows are so important. Also mentioned, U.S. Department of Commerce on export.gov, they actually offer a very helpful service called Gold Key Matching Service, and we recommend that RussTech pursue that. And any questions?
Okay. Thank you. We need to take at least one question.
Nobody? Really? Okay.
You talk about dealing a lot with sensitive information, government contracts, defense contracts, power plants, things like that. So when dealing with this top secret and highly sensitive information, what kind of security measures do you have in place? Because in your marketing report you say that each document goes through multiple hands throughout the translation process, at least 3 or 4 different people.
That's a reviewing process, and it's all done in the office. None of that is done by freelancers. It's all done by people specifically in the office. And the security sensitivity of the information, which we checked with RussTech because we had the same concern that maybe working with another government or companies that are partnered with another government might have a bearing on the projects we've done with the U.S. government. It doesn't make any difference. We can work with the Russian governments or their partnered companies, and the documents stay within company hands, within those 10 hands.
Okay. Thank you very much.